In this section, there are some nuanced control chart analyses that we will not be doing in exam 2B, but I'm just presenting this here for your knowledge. So, recurring cycles. Assignable cause not necessarily due to exceeding a control limit. And recurring cycles are things that are going up and down, but they're not exceeding the control limits. Again, these are things that are not going to be on exam 2B. It's just for your information. So what could possibly cause this? If it's an X bar chart, you could have environmental changes such as temperature or humidity which impact materials and or equipment. It could be worker fatigue such as not paying attention to changing equipment settings. It could be differences in measuring or testing devices which change during the day. Or it could even be routine rotation of machines or workers. If you have an R chart behaving this way, perhaps you have scheduled preventive maintenance which returns the machine to top working order, worker fatigue resulting in sporadic work practices, tools becoming worn, possibly becoming loose or vibrating. These are not necessarily the definitive causes, these are just some examples. Another thing that we could look at would be trends. Assignable causes not necessarily due to exceeding a control limit. And you see here, these are exceeding it here, but generally you have this trend of things gravitating either up or down across your control chart. So possible causes for an X bar chart: gradual deterioration of equipment, worker fatigue, accumulation of waste products like oily sawdust on the machine work surface. Things that could possibly affect if this was an R chart: improvement or deterioration of workers' skill operating machine, worker fatigue, gradual change in quality of incoming material being used. Again, not guaranteed to be the causes, but potential causes. Another one, jumps in process level, considerably more points either above or below the X bar line in this case, or the R one. If you look at this one, there is 11 points above the center line, the X bar, and only 6 below, which means there may be something that's allowing it to move towards the top. So if you're looking at an X bar chart, materials or subassemblies coming from different suppliers could play a role in it. New worker running equipment or new modified equipment, modifications to the process and or equipment, changes in the measurement tools or techniques used. If this was an R chart instead, a different or modified material is being used, a different or modified technique or method for producing the part, a new worker with less consistent skills operating the equipment. Again, remember what I'm talking about in this segment are things that affect the control chart, but not things I'm going to be asking about on exam 2B. You could have a high proportion of points near or outside the control limits. You see all these points kind of gather here and they kind of gather here. What could be the reason for an X bar chart? Over adjusting the equipment. Oh, here's a problem, let's adjust it. Here's a problem, let's adjust it. Where they should have probably let it ride out a little bit. Dramatic differences between incoming materials used. If it's an R chart, you could have a mixture of incoming material of distinctly different quality or different workers taking measurements in a distinctly different fashion. Just 2 examples. E, stratification or lack of variability. You see it's all clumped here in the middle. So possible causes for an X bar chart: incorrect calculation of your X bar control limits. You calculated these wrong, perhaps. Poor sample size resulting in R bar being artificially larger than is actually the case. How does that play into it? Because remember, the R bar plays into the calculation of the control limits for the X bar chart. If it's an R chart, you could have an incorrect calculation of your R control limits. You could be using a measurement tool that is inadequate for the specifications required. It's like using a ruler to measure to the thousandth of an inch. It's just not going to work out for you.